Lord knows where I'm going to find this recording afterwards, Michael. You probably know it's going to be on the computer somewhere, but it should be recording now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. I tell you what, let me stop doing this. Okay, do you know what? We'll just we might as well just crack on and you know, as and when people come in, if they come in, then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So hold on, let me just take this off. Stop sharing. Okay, cool. I mean, personally, I mean, I just kind of, I suppose my thing really to you, for you really is, Rafa, is that, you know, we've all come together from a strong interest in crypto. The actual group itself is a black group. So, you know, so that's why we don't know each other, but we're connected, obviously, from the color of our skin and also, you know, the subject of crypto and blockchain and the rest of it. So we're just interested in loads of stuff. I mean, we came together from a larger group, which was an American group. So the Black Business School, it was called, and there's like a Facebook group that's got.
I think I've heard of them. I'm aware of them. So that
yeah, there's quite a big kind of setup. So so you know, we, after a while, because we were part of this group that had about it's probably over 60,000 people in this group, and then there's all these different subgroups out of that group. So we thought, hold on, if there's UK people in the actual group, we can create our own. So we kind of just part of this WhatsApp group. We share a lot of information that way, which works out quite well. I'm quite enjoying it, but we need to really. There's loads of questions that we want to ask companies and what have you. So we're really happy that we've got you on the phone. But it's really, I mean, the floor's really down to you. I mean, we just kind of, it'd be great if you just give us a bit of an intro about yourself anyway, and then a little bit about Wirex.
Of course. Well, I've been in the space for, I think, nearly 4 years now. 4 years, a bit more even. I looked at it sort of as a bit of a gimmick, potentially a risk in the beginning. I found out about it from my brother, who was a engineer, a computer engineer. Oh no, sorry, aeronautical engineering. He was doing at university, and he was introduced to it by his friends. He's been in it longer than myself, and he showed me it. And basically, at uni, they were using it for to buy drugs, university students and so forth.
What drugs?
But so that was a bit crazy. And then I said to him, stay away from it, like this is very, very risky, not because of the drug aspect of it. I was like, well, you know, you can use cash to buy drugs, like but I was aware of a few projects that were very similar to this project that had failed previously. So one of them was DigiCash and Hashgraph, and these were legitimized projects that had a company, had a founder, and was like very well established. One ran out of the Netherlands, and then the only thing that I can describe that happened, and I thought they were very promising when I was kind of reading about them in sort of, I say, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
I was exploring the financial system, because it was the depths of the recession, sort of 2011.
Yeah.
Everything had skyrocketed in price, and I was like, what's going on? Well, what's the difference? So my curiosity got the better of me, and then, you know, what I found essentially was that the people that created DigiCash and Hashgraph, what is, in terms I would like to describe as bureaucratic assassination. They made it so these companies couldn't exist. They went bankrupt, and the projects died with that. So I was like to my brother, you know what, this is very, very risky. You know, you're putting yourself at risk. Anybody holding this, you know, is potentially at risk from some sort of backlash, some sort of legal ramification, or so forth.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what, be extremely careful. And they're going to kill it. They're going to try any which way, like it's going to end up like DigiCash or Hashgraph. And they're going to kill it eventually. And then sort of 2014 happened, and then there was a big hack at Mount Gox, and 2015 even, and then the price of Bitcoin went from $1,100, where my brother was kind of quite vindicated at this point. He was like, look, see, I told you it's rising in price, and it went from 1,100 to $150. And then at that point I was vindicated. I was like, this is exactly what I said. This has happened 100% as I said it was going to happen, and I was completely vindicated. But then he pointed out that, you know, if you ignored this like a month and a half, 8-week period, I think a 6 to 8 week period, if you just ignored that spike and decline, there's still a natural trend line going up. This is what I'm focusing on, is the anomaly, and the underlying project is still actually 100% on track. And I was like, I tried to ignore him, but essentially the price went from 150 to 250 per Bitcoin, and then I was just like, well, that's a crazy return. You know, that's this. I said this is going to die. Instead of dying, it's added 75% of its value on top of itself, which is, you know, in a matter of it was a few months or something. He was vindicated. You know, I was warming up to his idea, so I started exploring the tech, because I don't buy anything I don't understand. I need to have like a very good understanding of it before I get into anything. And yeah, essentially it's a protocol, right? So blockchain is a protocol. Bitcoin is the first application for that protocol, in the same way that the internet is a protocol. The first application for the internet was email. The first email was sent in 1971. Email is the easiest application to run on the internet. Currency, tokens, is the easiest application to run on this protocol. And essentially it's like the internet, not 2.0, but the internet 3.0 protocol. So what this potentially allows us to build is applications beyond our wildest dreams. So, you know, we're right now using an internet-based application with Zoom, right? Zoom is a fourth layer application on the internet protocol, and it's allowing us to speak in real time and do that. But we still have to use Zoom. We're still connected to Zoom's infrastructure. If someone at Zoom's offices right now unplugged their server, it would completely collapse. We'd get an error 404 or 504, and then, you know, we can't use the service. What this protocol allows is it allows these applications to run off the users' computers themselves. So in the same way torrents used to work in the past, if you had the torrenting application on your computer, you're not downloading those films or those musics off a data center. You're downloading them off someone else's computer, off like 50 peers' computers at the same time all around the world. So so you could build a Zoom on the Bitcoin protocol, or I mean, not blockchain protocol, right? And it would be a decentralized application. So that's what it is. Currency is just the tip of the iceberg. It's the easiest thing you can do with this. But currency is probably the most groundbreaking thing as well, because it solves probably the biggest problem with the world currently, and that is the mismanagement of resources. The mismanagement of resources is actually one of the big reasons why, you know, the Afro-Caribbean community has been suppressed, because Africa is the richest resource continent in the world. I'm Egyptian myself, and it's debt slavery, essentially. They use money to control Africa through debt that African countries can't pay back the interest, let alone the debt itself. So it hangs over their heads, and all resource is used to try and alleviate this debt, which is an impossible debt to alleviate. And they use the control of the monetary system and the control of monetary value to keep that in place. And it's essentially you know, the chains have been replaced with interest rates. So this technology is not just a technological revolution, it's a financial revolution building up to a technological revolution, which I think is very, very interesting and very, very amazing.
So how does Wirex fit into all of this? I mean, if that was the interest that you had from, let's say the interest, that's how you got into it from your brother getting involved in some dodgy stuff at uni, and then obviously moving up now, and you're kind of gaining knowledge on blockchain and crypto. How does Wirex fit into that now? What role does Wirex play in this whole big game?
Well, essentially, it's bridging the gap, right? Because I can't go downstairs right now to the local Tesco or the local corner shop and say, look, I've got this currency, take it. He's not going to accept it. It's not feasible. This can't be an overnight sort of change. There needs to be a transition period where people come into contact with it, get familiarized with it. And I feel that's where Wirex's place is. It is to sort of bridge the gap between the legacy systems and the future technology, which is crypto and blockchain.
Okay, so could you give? I mean, I know a bit about Wirex, but could you give like a brief summary about what Wirex? What do you do at Wirex with this bridging? How are you helping to bridge the crypto?
So essentially, it's a mobile application. I can even share my screen and show you my Wirex account.
Okay.
1 second. Let's see if I'm logged in.
The patio has been built out into a high terrace. A resident runs like a river.
So there we go. I'm just gonna try and log in. So what Wirex basically allows people to do is it allows people to hold both Bitcoin and traditional currencies, and allows you to exchange your Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency back to pounds, euros, or dollars. So what we're seeing as I'm logging into my Wirex web app, and in here you'll see several things. So I'll have my Bitcoin wallet, which is here, and then I will have my my British pounds account and my USD account, which are here, and these are all my recent events. So I've exchanged. This is me exchanging Bitcoin into $5 at this exchange rate. So I've sent this amount of Bitcoin to convert to $5, and that's loaded on this virtual card that I can use to like make purchases online. So those are the details, and I can show the details, but I haven't made any purchases with this card. But I have also got the UK GBP account, which is not just the card. I have a full fat sort of account number and sort code with that. So I can, so here's the account number and sort code. And I've also got like Swift account number as well, and IBAN number.
Okay.
That I can use to receive international payments. And then on top of that as well, within that functionality, I can exchange. So I can buy Bitcoin. So I can put pounds, because this is a UK account, I can use fast payments to send from my NatWest Bank account into this, and then I can buy Bitcoin. So
So if you're buying, you can buy Bitcoin on here.
mhm.
Where do you buy the Bitcoin from? As in, are you buying it from a pool of people who've like I don't know, a consortium, if you like, or are you buying it on, like how you would have Binance or GDAX, where you actually go onto an exchange and buy it?
Well,
How does that work?
there are two sort of liquidity two liquidity pools, because the main use case for Wirex is to liquidate Bitcoin. So people come to Wirex to sell their Bitcoin. So we have a pool of Bitcoin that we can use and sell back to people wanting to buy back in.
Okay.
But we've also got another layer, so a further third party as well that also can sell Bitcoin when there is the lack of liquidity.
Right. Okay.
So that's always available. And then but I'm trying to see, let me see this, if I can exchange. So that's pretty weird. So I'm getting this is the beta at the moment, so this isn't fully available to the UK public because the new accounts are a new thing. So there seems to be a bit of issue there at the moment.
So no, you're just saying this is the testing environment, right? You just said
well, the to an extent, so it's fully functioning. I do have the account is fully functioning. I've made purchases on there, so you can see, for example, where I've made purchases on Amazon and eBay. So this is PayPal. So this is a PayPal purchase I've made a few days ago. There is the Amazon one as well. And this is something I've actually received. So this was a phone case. I can show you. I actually documented it. And it works. So, and the thing is, the web app is just one way of accessing your Wirex account. So you've got the iOS and Android applications as well. Those are actually easier to use and better to use than the web app.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's the interview.
So the app's easier to use than the web app.
Yeah, so this is me documenting several transactions I've done. That's the receipt for one. This is me using it on the payment processing side of this merchant, and like I was surprised to even see like the Wirex logo to come up as well as part of G2A.com, which is it's like a game. So I bought Colin McRae Dirt 3. So yeah, here it is. So, just because this is the beta testing, and these guys are a bit picky with prepaid cards, so we're using full fat debit cards, which are an industry first. So it was to make sure that was working, and and I mean, this is a screenshot from the mobile app, so you can see several exchanges to and back to Bitcoin, and then from pounds to Bitcoin, and then so it's lots of different ones. And then this was the actual so this was I made the first purchase I made was from Amazon. So one thing that didn't work is that I tried to connect the card to Android Pay, so it didn't allow me to connect to Android Pay. This is the thing I bought off of the first thing I bought off of Amazon. That arrived. It cost me £5.50. It was a phone case for my son's phone. And this is the Amazon purchase that went through when I documented it.
So can I just ask, when you said about the testing? So obviously there's all different testing that needs to happen before it. You can send stuff out live. Who do you get? How do you get others on board to assist you or assist Wirex with the testing?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you guys, actually. I was going to ask if you guys would like to be beta testers. The prerequisite is that you have to be based in the UK for the UK accounts. And that's pretty much it. As long as you've got proof of ID and proof of address, you can set up a Wirex account, start testing and start using it. Okay.
Is there what's the incentive? Is there an incentive to do it? What you got for us, Rafa?
I mean, the main incentive is that people that are first to use this will be sort of the first to get your affiliate link. So you can also earn Bitcoin through the platform as well. Now,
Right.
the way Wirex makes money is through an exchange. So when you exchange your Bitcoin to pounds, euros, or dollars, there is a small fee, and the person, if you've sent through an affiliate link, the person you'd make 10% of Wirex's fee. So instead of Wirex getting 100%, would make 90, and you'd make 10% in Bitcoin. So you can earn Bitcoin through the application as well. And because this is an industry first, and I mean it appeals to a lot of people in the sector.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to share it with someone that had a lot of Bitcoin, you'd earn quite a bit. I mean, I was looking through sort of the affiliate statistics recently, because this is the 2.0 version. There was a previous version of Wirex that run from sort of 2014,
Yeah.
and that used prepaid cards, and there was also an affiliate system within that as well. And some people had like amassed like sort of 10 Bitcoins and stuff from affiliate links.
Right.
So
Okay.
it can be very lucrative, but that's one small thing. The other thing is that this is, considering that we have 1.3 million customers around the world. UK is where we're launching first. It's a very coveted piece of kit. It's a very coveted account to have. Like, people in Latin America, Middle East, and so forth, like, used to depend on this to live off of cryptocurrency, because that's one of the main use cases. If you trade cryptocurrencies, like a lot of people did last year, you can make lots of money, and you can quit your day job. And people used to do that with Wirex, as well as sort of mining cryptocurrencies as well. So people used to mine cryptocurrencies, send them to their Wirex account, and exchange them for pounds, euros, or dollars, and use that to live.
Raphael,
Okay.
sorry, a quick question from me.
Yep.
Firstly, from the affiliate perspective,
Mm-hmm.
how does that work in terms of, does a link have to be used, an affiliate link have to be used for every exchange, or is it the initial sign up of a new customer that the affiliate link is used?
Just for the initial sign up. So once that initial sign up happens, for the first 3 years, you get 10% of everything that they do on the application. They also get a free plastic debit card as well, because I think there's a small fee for the plastic debit card. You get a free virtual card. And then after 3 years, I think it drops to 5% of every transaction, 5% of the commission of every transaction.
Okay, and is Wirex currently only liquidating Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies as well?
Other cryptocurrencies as well. So you can actually deposit 50 different cryptocurrencies, but they get converted to Bitcoin into your Wirex wallet. So if I've got Ethereum or Ripple or Monero, I can deposit that, and then it's exchanged through Shapeshift straight into Bitcoin, and you hold it as Bitcoin in the wallet.
Got it, yeah.
Okay. So with the actual Bitcoin itself, so the Bitcoin, it stays in the wallet. Can I move that Bitcoin into a different wallet? Like if I had a Nano or a hard wallet or a desktop wallet, can I move that Bitcoin, or does it only stay in there? Do I own the keys, the private keys to that wallet? To that Bitcoin?
Well, you don't. You can move the Bitcoin to any other Bitcoin wallet. It's completely free to move.
Okay.
So it's not like other companies in that respect at all, where you can only buy in the platform, send within the platform, sell within the platform. No, this is complete open ecosystem. It's a segregated witness enabled wallet as well. We use
what does that mean?
So SegWit is it's a second layer protocol.
Oh, Sorry, you said SegWit. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm just tripping.
No, it's all right. So SegWit is a second layer protocol on like the Bitcoin blockchain network
Yeah,
that
no, that's okay.
makes it cheaper and faster to send Bitcoin to different wallets.
Okay, oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm talking to you guys as if you like are like experts. I'm not sure kind of your level of understanding in the field. So.
Yeah, no. To be honest, we've got a pretty good grasp of it all. I mean, we're I suppose what we're doing is we're all learning, and some are picking up things a lot more often than others. And this is the first time that we've kind of had a Zoom call or had you on, but you know, obviously us actually all on the same place at the same time type thing. I mean, we met up a few weeks ago, but you know, because the time was so short, we never really got to really talk about anything and see where everyone is. But yeah, no, the more you just throw in, it doesn't really matter. We're either on par with you, or we're in front of you, or we're behind you. It doesn't matter. We're catching up. This is all knowledge. So.
One more question, Rafa.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of like Ian talked about incentive to be beta testers.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned if an affiliate link is used,
Yep.
you can get a free physical card. So if we were to all sign up for Wirex accounts, if we didn't use the affiliate link, an affiliate link, we wouldn't get that free debit card, correct?
Well, not necessarily, because I think this is something that is being discussed at the moment. How because we're reshaping the we're essentially there is the possibility that we might be able to give everybody free plastic debit cards for the first one. But say you want a plastic USD debit card or a plastic Euro debit card, those will probably be charged. So we're just working out the mechanics of how we want that to work. But people who join the beta test first will be entitled to, should be entitled to the free cards. So 100 like beyond any doubt, but it is the second, third, fourth, because you can have up to 6 debit cards currently, and that's looking to increase as we add more currencies to the thing. So you'll be able there is a lot of talk currently, so it's early days, but next year, maybe the year after, there might be up to 12 different currencies to choose from. So Australian dollar, Singapore dollar, Japanese yen, loads of different currencies to pick from. So it would be those second, third, fourth cars moving forward that would potentially be free. I mean, yeah, for affiliates. So that's the small challenge on that side of things. But in terms of opportunity, it's pretty big. 10% off of that stream, and if for 3 years. So it's not too bad. It's like very similar to sort of Coinbase's and Binance or affiliate sort of revenue streams.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
So how much? I mean, you said about the cards. If the cards are free, the physical cards, how much would they cost if we had to pay for them? Like if we wanted to get one of the USD ones, for instance.
Previously, it was £16.
Okay, £16. Okay.
Or $20 before, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So look, I'm gonna.
Currency cards. So the necessity to have a different card for every currency goes away.
You say multi-currency cards? Did you say?
Yeah.
So this is something that we're looking into. It's because there is another company that does that. Revolut does that, of course. It has you have just one card, but you have multiple currencies attached to that one card. So it's something that we are exploring to do at the moment, but it's not as easy as it sounds. There are a lot of things that need to be taken into account, and at the moment, you know, it's not the most ideal situation carrying around 6 cards in, like, you know, potentially, or, you know, it will be 3 physical cards to carry around, but there'll be 6 cards in app to cycle through. But we are looking at different ways of making that better and making that easier. And there are solutions that we could be implementing, but it probably won't be this year, but maybe next year or the year after.
Okay. Do you know, I know that you had you were previously one of your main supplier was Wavecrest.
That's correct, yes.
Can you just explain who Wavecrest are and kind of what happened and what you're doing to kind of rectify things?
Wavecrest are the Wavecrest were a sort of card issuer based out of Gibraltar. We were one of the first people to sort of join to find Wavecrest and join Wavecrest, and essentially what happened with Wavecrest is that loads of other everybody tried to jump on the bandwagon, right? So you had loads of sort of imitation companies similar to Wirex claiming to offer the same thing with the plans of launching an ICO, jumping on the bandwagon, and Wavecrest was more than happy to accommodate all of them, and they breached a few of Visa's T's and C's, and then overnight all of Wavecrest's accounts were cut off from the Visa network, and the entire industry fell flat on its face. You know, and I got the email at sort of 11 p.m. at night, and it was, you know, very late at night. Compliance team and everyone were up until sort of 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, trying to hash out, you know, what's going on. But I mean, the fortunate position that Wirex was in is that we were over 6 months down the line with a new issuer, and you know, that's why we're in the position we are today, that we're able to offer the new currency accounts to be beta tested. And you know, you can use them, make purchases, go on Amazon and everything. So this is, in essence, now we're almost like the only player in the space. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 more. There's one in the US, 100%, and there's, I think, one operating out of Lithuania. But in terms of a complete offering with the amount of experience and customer base that we have, I think, you know, we're in a good niche at the moment. And you know, that's a big benefit, a big benefit.
So you've got an issuer now. You've got a new issuer. Okay. So I've got a question for you. I haven't got a Wirex card. I've set an account up. I was going through my verification, so I'm kind of at that point of uploading my passport and all that sort of stuff. How soon after the verification can you apply to get one of these cards, one of these physical cards? How long does it take? Just on average.
So it depends. Right now we're beta testing, so we're going to be selecting 100 people to get the to have access to the accounts and the virtual cards, and yeah, once you're on the beta testing list, it will be sort of same day, but it's via email. So I was going to ask you guys if you wanted to be beta testers. We have already we have over 100 people signed up. Like the PR is that it's 100 people to make it sound that it's thing, but I think it's more than that. But if you guys want to be in on it as well, from my point of view, from a tech perspective, the more people you have testing something, the better it's going to be when you do the official release. So I'd be more than happy to get you guys on the beta test, and all I'd need is your email addresses, the email address you set up with the Wirex account, and they can switch that on from our end.
Okay. Oh, well, look, I'm up for it.
Okay.
You know, it's up to the guys, or I can at least send a message out to everyone else in the group to see whether they'll be interested. But yeah, I'm kind of already there, so I'll quite happily do the testing. You're going to throw some Bitcoin on there then for me, just to mess about with, or what's going on? Throw my own money on there then, Rafa.
I can't promise anything, but maybe. I gave Nick his first £5 worth of Bitcoin a while ago. So.
Oh yeah, well there you go. I can do something with £5. That's no problem at all.
Okay, I'll consider that. I'll definitely consider that. Yeah. No. Maybe in a few weeks though, because the price of Bitcoin is very low right now. So I don't want to give you £5 now and then it'd be worth £20, £30 in a month's time. And then
so okay, with the beta testers, how long do you need? Like, you know, how long do you need before you get an answer from, you know, our group? I mean, do you need to get an answer pretty quick? You know, and you know if they're interested in doing this or not?
It would be ideal. That would be ideal. Yes. The quicker the better.
Within a week.
Within a week would be great. Would be great. To be honest, it could be done on the same day, but the issue with that is that so it could be done on the same day. So as long as I get them soon, the sooner the better. We're looking to launch UK wide. Let me see. UK wide is coming sort of mid March, so in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay. So you'd have a week and a half to be to beta test before like the pre-release goes out, essentially.
Okay.
I mean, the UK is also sort of the testing ground for Europe and the rest of the world as well. So it's
you're making us sound like lab rats, man. We're the ones that are in the lab. We're definitely the guinea pigs.
To some extent, yes. To some extent, yes. But at the same time, there's nothing to lose. It's there's nothing really to lose. If you want to make a purchase, if you need to make an Amazon or eBay purchase, and you've got some Bitcoin lying around, or you want to buy some Bitcoin and then make a purchase as well, the world's your oyster. So if you want to buy some Bitcoin, this is a great thing to use. I've used it for that purpose myself, and it's as simple as transferring money from my NatWest mobile banking app to my Wirex banking app, and then through my Wirex banking app buying the Bitcoin. And you can buy up to $7.5 grand at a time, which is insane.
Have you ever experienced or encountered any conflicts with any of the banks? So, you know, if I want to upload my Wirex virtual card or whatever, you know, have they blocked it? Have you been blocked before? Are there certain banks that you can't use?
No. This is the first time. Where NatWest hasn't given me pain trying to buy Bitcoin. So I've bought Bitcoin previously through NatWest, and they've blocked my account. They've completely turned it off until I called fraud, which, you know, was on a Saturday night when there is no fraud team really to speak to before they had 24-hour support. And they've really hammered down on it. the first time I had no drama, no stress at all whatsoever was when I did the bank transfer from the NatWest to the Wirex account, and then bought Bitcoin through the Wirex account. So
okay, so the bank transfer, you're fine because it's international payment, really, isn't it? I suppose.
Exactly. Well, it's not even international payment; it's fast payment because both are UK based. So
okay.
it's within a matter. It's instant essentially from my NatWest, the Wirex, and
of
then
course,
I can
yeah.
buy Bitcoin.
Okay. So if I've got Litecoin, or I've got some, I don't know, Dogecoin or whatever, right? And if I send that into my Wirex, then that will convert it into Bitcoin. Are you planning on having other wallets? So you've got your Bitcoin wallet. Are you planning on having, I don't know, maybe a Litecoin wallet in there, or an Ethereum wallet, or anything like that? Any other wallets in?
Yes. So in the same way that we're adding more traditional currencies, we're going to be adding more cryptocurrencies as well. So the first one is Dash. So Dash is probably the first crypto wallet that's being added to the app. The second one will be Bitcoin Cash, probably because we still are holding the Bitcoin Cash from the August fork from previous Wirex customers. So that's coming out with a Bitcoin Cash app. And the third one will be a decision between Ripple, Litecoin, and Ethereum. But all three of those as well will be added to the platform too.
Okay.
So it's five in total: Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Litecoin, and Ethereum.
Okay.
So right now, Rafa, in terms of the way it works, with Shapeshifter, do you have a single address that you send all your coins to, and Shapeshifter converts it into Bitcoin, or do you have to have, for example, an Ethereum address for sending in Ethereum, and a Dash address for sending in Dash, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, you have different addresses for the different cryptos. So yeah, I mean, I can't, for some reason my application is down, so I can't. It's late at night, and the Kiev team are on holiday, so I could show you. But essentially, what happens is you pick the currency you want to deposit on the app, and it will present you with the address to deposit that specific currency. So it could be, we accept Dash, Doge, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, all of them at the moment. And then what happens is that it gets exchanged through Shapeshift to Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin lands in your personal Bitcoin wallet.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But I don't advise it. It's good if you need a quick way to liquidate your other currency, like a way that takes less than a minute, but you also get double conversion because Shapeshift will charge their conversion. And then when you want to convert that Bitcoin to pounds, euros, or dollars, there will be a second charge. So it's more ideal to convert to Bitcoin off platform and then just transfer the Bitcoin into the platform. But
yeah,
there is that option there. If you are a miner and you're mining Doge and Dash and you don't really care about the fees, you just want it to dump into your wallet, then that's a great option for you. Or if you need to make a trade fast, right? If you've just made like a bunch of Ethereum, you want to liquidate that fast, you can just throw your Ethereum straight onto the app. You don't need to go to another exchange. And you'll be charged on another exchange anyways, and you might have to wait for your order to go through at a certain price, and it takes hassle and time out of the equation. So that's why it's there. But the best thing is obviously the cheapest way is just to put Bitcoin into the app.
Do you know, I've got a question about the about when the HMRC come knocking. So you guys are you're not a bank. You are a bank, so if the HMRC do come and they say we want a list of what like the IRS are doing or planning on doing in the States,
yeah.
how's that going to work? I mean,
we're building the solution for it currently as we speak. So 2018 big plans are business to business solution,
Okay.
and business to consumer solution as well. So that will include lots of things like account keeping, record keeping, invoice creation. So you can have the choice to create invoices for crypto or create invoices in fiat. So, you know, really sort of kind of trying to bridge the gap between legacy and future. So this is one of the big things for 2018 that we've actually hired an entire team to build. So it's in the process.
I mean, I suppose, you know, from you working in an organisation like Wirex, do you get like a heads up on what's happening, you know, before the general public? So if you hear that some legislation is getting passed, you know, through government for somehow they're going to start tracking cryptos, or you know, there's going to be some type of tax attached to whatever gains are made through the, I mean, do you get that kind of heads up at all?
I do indeed. I'm very, very lucky. I'm very, very privileged to be working at Wirex, with the respect that, like, the people I work with, like, literally sit behind me. They're not here now. They leave at 5 o'clock. But you know, we have a general counsel. We have a head of compliance. We have a head of risk. And these are extremely experienced people. So the head of risk, for example, he was a director at Interpol for a period of time. Our head of compliance has worked for PaySafe and other big payment processing companies. And our general counsel is, you know, a step below a QC. So it's you know, the people I'm working with, and they also have a very big understanding of crypto from their background. So in terms of news and stuff, every day they're giving me the freshest news from their sector with regards to cryptocurrency. And I channel that as well through the so I do like a Wirex weekly news video where I go through all of the Wirex news, and I go through all of the geopolitical and economic news as well, that I get from these guys, like our head of compliance, head of risk, and general counsel. So I definitely recommend checking that out, because I come up with stuff that the other guys, the other YouTube influencers like Doug Polk Crypto and stuff like that, they talk about, you know, in a week's time, and I'm coming out with the information like sort of.
How can we access this information there, Rafa?
It's literally just, it's public on the YouTube channel. Like, we don't do any sort of paid promotion, so it's all organic. It's quite underrepresented in my opinion. Obviously I'm a bit biased, so check it out and make your own decision as to what you think of it. But
okay.
I post videos on there regularly.
So that's
I give
cool.
like some really sort of juicy, in-depth sort of information as to what's happening.
Okay, can you just confirm the name of that, the YouTube?
It's
Wirex Weekly News, did you say?
Yeah, Wirex Weekly News, or crypto coverage. I think it's been changed to recently. I mean, I can share the link to the channel on here potentially.
Yeah, oh yeah, within the chat, or email, when, you know, whatever's easiest. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm in the chat. Here we go. And yeah, that's it in the chat.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Sweet. I'll have a look at that in a bit. Okay. Cool. Do you know what? I've probably got more questions, but I'll just stick to the. You know, when you're you can pull out money from the ATM.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the maximum you can pull out, and what are the charges?
Before it was £2.50 with the prepaid debit cards, and there was a maximum withdrawal of 10,000 per day.
Is that from the ATM?
Actually, no. Yeah, you're right. I think the maximum cash withdrawal per day was, I think, 250 or 400 per day, but the maximum you could spend via the card was 10,000.
Okay, so 10,000.
But these are the prepaid card limits, so I'm aware that the debit card limits are much better than that, because it's with an account.
Yeah.
So the debit card limits, as I'm aware, is that the with ATM withdrawals are now in the pennies, as opposed to being £2.50 and potentially even free. And the limits are not. I think that I'm not sure the limits directly, but I do know that the account, the GB pound account, can only hold a maximum of £7,500. But you can empty it and fill it up as many times as you like within the day. So you can put £7,500 in, buy £7,500 worth of Bitcoin, put another £7,500 and continue until sort of someone from the compliance or anti-money laundering team sort of like, what's going on here.
Okay, and you can just transfer from bank to bank, couldn't you? So because it is set up as a bank, effectively, you could just do the transfers like how you would transfer from your NatWest to there.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's a proper account.
Okay. No, the reason I'm always looking at
Wirex is not a bank. So sorry, Ian, just quickly.
Yeah, no. So
you say Wirex is not a bank. What is it? What do you guys call your service?
A currency account. So we're not allowed to call it a bank. We're not allowed to use. We're not allowed to say it's a Bitcoin debit card, or we're not allowed to say it's a Bitcoin bank. We're not allowed to say. So it's a currency account. So it's a different currency account. Those are regulatory and compliance issues for you. So. Essentially what it is a Bitcoin bank account or a Bitcoin debit card or a Bitcoin, but we're not allowed. It's cryptocurrency to fiat payment card, or so it's an exchange linked with a payment card. That's the compliance correct term.
Okay.
But yeah, it's we're applying for our licenses to make us more flexible, to give us more flexibility. But we are relying on a lot of third-party offers and processors. It's very, very, very important to be completely compliant as to what they need and what they're asking for.
Yeah.
So we have a relationship with the card provider, which is a bank. They have their banking license, but we're in the process on working on our own banking licenses, not just in the UK, but in other jurisdictions as well. So we're applying for a Singapore banking license, a Japanese banking license, and this year as well, we're looking at the US, because 30% of Bitcoin is in the US. So it would be a huge market to not be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are there any countries that you know who are kind of exempt from, or simply can't work with?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. There is a list of sanctioned countries that we'll be unable to offer any service to. One of them being my own, Egypt, is listed as sanctioned country, but that's due to Egyptian law, not to our prerequisites. Currently in Egypt, it's illegal to sell cryptocurrency for fiat. It's legal. You can hold it, you can trade it, but at the point where you exchange it for normal currency, that is illegal in the eyes of the government there. And then there are other countries, sort of like Syria, North Korea, the obvious ones, Iran. I think Algeria is another one. So it depends. But this is a very flexible industry, and that can change from month to month. So that's why we're also doing the rollout from UK, EU, and then moving from there. So there's EU's in 2 stages as well.
Okay. No, I know we're kind of coming up to our time here, and I just wanted to. I don't know whether anyone else has got any. You got any other questions on here? I just had a question about your competitors. You mentioned Revolut.
Yep.
Are there any other competitors out there that are really rivaling you at the moment? I mean, who are they? Or, I mean, who are your competitors?
Well, the likes of sort of 10x, Centra, Monaco, CryptoPay, SpectroCoin. Those are the top 5 that come to mind, but there's even more than that. But they all depended on Wavecrest, and none of them are anywhere near. You know, it takes years to get a partnership with a card issuer. So we've managed to accomplish that in sort of 8 months, which is, to my knowledge, sort of for a crypto company, maybe not for a company non-affiliated with crypto. That's an industry record. It was faster than what was achieved back in sort of 4 years ago when Wirex originally launched with Wavecrest. So not only that, I think that there is no competitor at the moment that can do what we're doing. It will be a long time before they are able to offer anything similar. So you know, at least another 6 months to go through all of the visa regulations and the prerequisites. At least another 6 months for someone else to get to our position.
Okay. You're well ahead of them then.
Yeah.
So okay, just I've just got one last thing to do. I know I've been doing a bit of talking. Where do you actually see Wirex at the end of this year? They keep talking about crypto. This is a massive year for Bitcoin and all the rest of the cryptos and altcoins and stuff. Where do you see Wirex in at least the next 12 months? You know, from now until maybe the beginning of next year.
So, right, I said to you at the beginning, it's 1.3 million customers worldwide, and $1 billion processed in exchanges.
Yeah.
So the projected figures for the end of this year are at least 10 million customers worldwide, and over $10 billion processed in exchanges.
Okay. So.
Hopefully we grow as fast as Bitcoin or faster than Bitcoin. So
you don't want to be dipping like Bitcoin anyway. Definitely not in
not
January.
dipping. Yeah.
Okay.
It has had a big drop today. It's oh well, now we're touching nearly 10K back again. So
yeah, I try not to. I've got enough stress in my life, Raphael. I try not to even
look at it.
anything like that, man. That just messes me up too much.
I've been through that stage. That's long. I'm long gone past that. To me, I enjoy watching the dips now. It's entertaining working out what's causing it. But yeah.
You know what? I've got another question. I've said that for the 3 questions, right? But you know, we talk about blockchain, and obviously it's the platform for the currencies. Are you or Wirex, are they using blockchain technology for anything?
Yes.
Okay.
We have like sort of a back-end private blockchain, which is the WPay network. It's like a liquidity pool that connects sort of our liquidity providers to the Wirex platform. Okay. So we actually, on the back end, we have like over 130 different currencies provided by 200 different liquidity providers. Okay. And essentially they bid as well for a portion of the Bitcoin that is sold on the Wirex platform. Okay. And that's automatic, and that translates to the exchange rate that you get on the application. So there is blockchain involved within the Wirex offering. I think you can even see it on the Wirex app website. So I'll find that for you. But yeah, it's the Wirex WPay There we go. So I'll just paste that now in the chat.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, brilliant. All right, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Has anyone got any questions before we kind of wrap it up? I know you've still got to get home, still got to get yourself to Ealing.
Yeah, yeah. It's very, very big journey. Any questions?
None
I'm
from
good.
me.
Thank you very much, Rafa.
Yeah, no,
It's been really informative. Thank
very
you.
good. No, I really appreciate that. I'll put a message around to everyone in our WhatsApp group about the testing. I'll definitely involve. So stick my name in there. You got my email address anyway. So yeah, definitely got my name in, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Can you also, how do we kind of find out about these events, the regular events? Is there somewhere that we can subscribe to? Because I found out about the beer and pizza one from Nick.
Mm.
So, but I didn't know where I could find, instead of relying on Nick all the time.
I'd say our social media is probably the best place. So I mentioned them and I put links in the YouTube posts that go up. Also, the Twitter feed, the Wirex Facebook page are probably the best place to get it as soon as it comes. Because even to put a blog post on the website, it has to go through sort of a HTML dev to put that on WordPress and get that on the website. So the best place to get kind of ideas as to things as they happen is social media.
Okay, so the Facebook group, you've got a group. It's just Wirex, is it?
Yeah, just type in Wirex or Wirex app, like how the website's spelled.
Yeah.
You'll find it.
Right. Okay. All right. That's brilliant. And look, Rafa, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad we got it recorded because we had some people drop out at the last minute, including I had my brothers actually that were going to come on here as well. One lives in Gambia, so he was going to log on, but I don't know how good his internet is, so I'll allow him for that. But no, really appreciate your time, and yeah, we'll stay in touch.
Definitely, and yeah, I'm trying to increase sort of the community following as well. So if you guys, wouldn't mind, I'll be looking out for your subscriptions and the follows on Twitter and likes on Facebook as well. So
Okay.
You'll be part of the Wirex community as well. So that would be great to have you all there too.
Okay, brilliant. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
No, thank you as well. I'll speak to you guys soon. Take it easy.
Cheers, thanks a lot. All right, take care, guys.